Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll be looking at the showdown for the Warriors-Dallas Mavericks game number 2. Look at the Prizepicks plays in the middle, and then we'll touch on FanDuel at the end. Yesterday's game, we had another blowout in the NBA. Unfortunate. The Miami Heat started off the game pretty well, but Boston was just on fire from 3, 9 of 11 starting. They continued to pour down the threes in the second quarter, in the second half as well. So even though Miami was playing decent offensively, they just could not stop Boston from shooting threes and some of the turnovers, and they were trying to match Boston shooting threes by shooting their own threes. So just poor shot selection on the Miami side, but hopefully today's game gets a little bit closer. So let's go ahead and get started. As always, if you enjoy the videos, I appreciate it if you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out all the other links down below in the description. So today, just like the game number 1, kind of looking at Luka or Steph Curry as my captain plays. There's a little bit of a salary difference, and so you might be able to get to Curry instead of Luka. Like I was kind of messing around with it, and right now I do think I'll probably have Curry as my captain and Luka, just with the savings that it gives me, and there's just not too many value picks I want to get to. So Steph Curry in game number 1 got off to a pretty poor start shooting. He actually started the game like 2 of 5 from the free throw line. So throughout the postseason, he's actually kind of been struggling from the free throw line. I mean, compared to his regular season average, he's like below 80% so far in the playoffs. But we know he's still going to shoot a lot. He took 16 shots. He lost at least 6 or 7 minutes in the fourth quarter due to the blowout. And he got off to a very cold start shooting, but he still gave you 12 rebounds, 4 assists. He is contributing in all these peripheral stats. So for that reason, I will be putting Steph Curry as my captain. But definitely not be looking to fade Luka Doncic. He got off to a good start, but then the blowout happened and he just couldn't keep his team in it. And then he was turning the ball over more in the second half, and they were just kind of having their way by double teaming Doncic in the second half when they were down, when the Warriors were up big. So as long as Luka gets off to a better start today and he's kind of able to continue that, I still want to get to him. You know, he's going to be looking to try to tie the series up going back to Dallas. It's not the worst thing for them to go down 0-2. We saw them go down 0-2 to Phoenix last series, and they still came back and won. So, worst case, I just think they want to keep it at least closer and want to have it within striking distance and not get blown out again, which would kind of be demoralizing for any team. But Luka is going to be definitely the best pick from the Mavs side and probably the second best play in this game, or maybe the first best, or the top play if you're not looking at Steph Curry. Klay Thompson, he only finished with 15 points. He didn't have his first field goal he didn't have a field goal in the first quarter. I think in the second quarter he might have hit his first shot. But overall, finished with 15, 5, and 4. Gives you some rebounds, but the price tag is still pretty high for a guy that mostly has just been in the 30s. He did have that one game over 50. That's when he hit 8 threes. So not super likely that's going to happen. Maybe once a series you can see him go for like 50 plus. Brunson, 86. I still prefer to get to the Warriors players instead of getting to Jalen Brunson when they're on the road here. So I look at Wiggins. I'm looking at Draymond. I like Wiggins a little bit better just with he's very comfortable in his role right now. He's also been struggling with the free throws, but he does give you 3-point shots, hit 3 of them once again. Second game in a row. He does take around 15 plus shots a game, and he gives you some rebounding opportunities, gives you some defensive stats as well. So at 76, if you're looking for another Golden State piece, Wiggins would be a guy that I like over Jordan Poole. And then you have like 68 for Dinwiddie. He's pretty expensive. Comes off the bench. He did have 17 points, and besides Luka was like the only other Mavs that was semi-consistent offensively. I mean, Luka struggled with his shot, but at least he was at least looking for a shot and being somewhat aggressive offensively. Dinwiddie's okay at 60. I think I might prefer to get to like Reggie Bullock at 5,000 instead, just to save some money. Bullock played 36 minutes. He took 10 threes, 12 shots in general. Like, you're saving almost $2,000 from Dinwiddie. You're saving $1,600 from Finney Smith. And Finney Smith, also a guy that I do like in general, just with the defense that he gives you, the minutes that he plays. But he's kind of been struggling the last few games. 3 of those were, actually all 4 were big blowouts. So you can definitely kind of account that for some of the poor play from him. But even so, he's just not super aggressive early on in the game. So I don't mind him, but I would prefer Reggie Bullock just now that the gap has gotten a little bit wider. On the Warriors side, Kevon Looney is another great value piece at $4,800. He played very good defense early on in the game, 2 blocks. He gave you them nice baskets in the first quarter, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Solid pick. And 28 minutes, he lost some minutes due to blowout as well. Seems like they are content going with Looney now that Gary Payton is out for a while, and They still prefer to bring, and Kuminga didn't even play, so it doesn't seem like he's part of the rotation in this series at least, unless getting some garbage time run. So those are the 4 picks I really like: 2 Mavs, 2 Warriors, and then we have like almost 5K left for the last few spots. You're kind of looking at like Otto Porter here. Maybe you can throw in Maxey. Kleber got off to a start where he was in foul trouble, so he got his second foul in the first quarter, so he had to sit. So he only played 19 minutes in general, but another blowout hurt his minutes, and they still prefer to have him out there because Dwight Powell, even with the foul trouble that Maxey Kleber was in, he didn't play that many minutes either, and he only played 14 and didn't do much in those minutes again. So it's kind of been a struggle for Powell all postseason, but yeah, I think you could leave some money on the table, like 700 if you go Kleber and Otto Porter. In terms of the 2K value and the 1K value, Damian Lee is like $1,600. He's like the only guy that you can semi-count on to get you 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how the game goes. If you play him, they can get up to Wiggins at $76, and you're just leaving $300 on the table. But I'm not looking at Bertans much, not looking at Kuminga now that he didn't even play in game number 1, so can't have confidence. He played in garbage time, so unless you think they're going to be up by 20 again, 25, and he gets those fourth quarter minutes at the end, he could be a viable option, but I'd rather go with Damian Lee, who is at least in the rotation and playing as like their 8th guy off the bench, or the 8th man for the Warriors. So that's about it for the DraftKings picks today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Prizepicks. So on Prizepicks today, if you haven't signed up on Prizepicks yet, you can use my code PROCESS and they'll match your first deposit up to $100 to get you started. A nice little bankroll boost. But on Prizepicks today, we have 9 guys on the board for the points board. I would like to get to Luka at 30.5, but it is a pretty big number. But he would be the one that I have the most interest in on the Mavs side. Him. I also do like Reggie Bullock at over 9.5 points. I think that one is pretty solid. Or you can take his over 2 threes. I think that might be another viable approach, because even if he doesn't get you, even if it only gets you 2 threes, at least it's a push, and if you hit your other props, you can still make money. Finney Smith at 10.5 is a low number. I feel like he's going to hit that one of these days, but this hasn't really happened yet. Blowouts are definitely a factor, and they're not scoring a ton of points. Well, at least in game 1, they didn't score a lot of points, so definitely a factor. And then I don't mind Looney, 5.5. He's gotten you 10 last game, and probably could have got you more if he played maybe like 2 or 4 points more if he played some more minutes in the fourth. The assist board, another one that I don't have much interest in. Like Draymond didn't pass much. You could take the under there and just kind of risk it, but he was also in a little bit of foul trouble, lost some minutes in the second quarter, and lost some minutes in general with the blowout. Steph Curry looked solid. We got you 12 rebounds last game, so you could be inclined to take the over there. Rebounding board, I have a couple of interests. I like Lucas over 9.5 rebounds because he's been right around this number for most of the playoffs. He lost minutes with the blowout last game, and he had 4 rebounds, I believe, in the first quarter, and he only finished with 7 the rest of the way. So just didn't get very many opportunities to rebound the ball, and that shouldn't really happen too much. So I'm going with Luka, especially with just how less they are playing Dwight Powell now, and just how much opportunity should have to rebound the ball as soon as the games are a little bit closer and the Warriors aren't, making all their shots. So I like Doncic a lot at 9.5 rebounds. Another one that I kind of like is Klay Thompson over 4.5 rebounds. He's actually been averaging more rebounds in the last 5 games than Andrew Wiggins, and he's a whole rebound lower than him. He's averaging 6.4. He's hit this in 4 out of 5. One game he didn't hit that was in Memphis, and I believe that was when they were losing by like 50. But if his shot's not falling, at least he's going to be looking to rebound the ball a little bit, get you a couple of assists here and there. And 4.5 is a pretty low number for a guy that does give you a lot of upside for rebounds. Now, Curry did have 12 rebounds, and that's not going to happen every game. So some of those rebounds could go to Thompson, go to Wiggins, go to Draymond instead. And I do expect the Mavs to shoot a little bit better than they did. So just less rebounds in general for like Curry, and the whole team basically. But Thompson at 4.5, he's averaging like 6.4 the last 5 games, and Wiggins is averaging 6. Yeah, a couple of outliers here, but still, I think I like Thompson just to get me 5, then Wiggins to get me 6. And then you have Draymond at 8 rebounds. This could be like a push situation, but he looks okay. Probably like his PRA maybe a little bit better. And then at Looney, I have really no feel for him. Like 22 rebounds, such an outlier, but I wouldn't take the over there. So moving on to the points, rebounds, assists. I like Steph Curry, 37.5. He got you 37 in game number 1, even though he shot poorly, but he gave you 12 rebounds, some assists here. I expected him to shoot a lot better, missed some free throws as well, which is not really like Steph Curry, and didn't play as many minutes in general. So at home, I'd side with Steph Curry here at 37.5. I don't mind Luka at his number. I like Wiggins. Took him in game 1. He came through. 23.5, still pretty low for Wiggins. And then 3 points made. I'm taking the over 2 on Reggie Bullock. He took 10 threes in game 1. They're going to need somebody to at least to shoot some threes to keep up with the Splash Brothers and keep up with Jordan Poole and all those guys that like to shoot a lot. So it's going to be Doncic shooting a lot of threes. It's going to be Reggie Bullock trying to keep his team in it and hit some threes as well. So I have a lot more interest in him at 2 than I do at like some of these other guys, like Thompson at 3. Some games he's not hitting any threes. Some games he's hitting 8 threes, so he's pretty all over the place. But I will look at Bullock and Steph Curry and Doncic as my favorites. And that's about it. Those are the 4 props I like on Prizepicks today. Over 9.5 rebounds for Doncic, 4.5 rebounds for Klay Thompson, 37.5 PRA Steph Curry, and 2 3 points made for Reggie Bullock. That's it for Prizepicks. Let's go ahead and look at FanDuel to close out the video. All right, so on FanDuel, you're probably going to have to make a decision at MVP if you're going to be looking to get to Curry or looking to get to Doncic. It's pretty close. I mean, on DraftKings, it's easier to get to Curry because he's cheaper and there's not that much value. On FanDuel, you're always looking to pay out for the most highly projected player, and I still believe that's Luka, even with Curry outscoring him a lot in Game 1, but that was with a big blowout. Doncic was shot poorly, and they only put up less than 90 points, so I'm still going to be looking to prioritize Doncic and Steph Curry as my 2 main guys here, especially with them being both over 15K and nobody else really being that expensive. So you can still fit in whoever you want here. If you do look to get to Wiggins at 11.5, you have 82.50 left, so you're going to be looking at like Maxey here and Otto Porter as potential picks here to kind of round it out. Instead of Wiggins, you couldn't go to Looney at 95, save some money, and Looney gets you blocks, which are valuable on FanDuel, gets you some rebounds, a couple of baskets right around the rim, so he looks solid. FanDuel, they have Bullock more expensive than Finney-Smith, so you can go Finney-Smith instead, but I do think that Bullock should be more expensive than Finney-Smith at this point at least, and then you're looking at maybe like Otto Porter, or you can get up to from Finney-Smith to Reggie Bullock and do something like that. So that's another valuable approach, but I like Otto Porter as a value pick. Kleber looks okay as a value at 8K. I mean, he looks better than Kuminga and Dwight Powell and any of these other guys that are below him. But Porter will be my preferred guy in the 8K range, 9K range. Preferred guy is definitely Kevon Looney, 10K range. I like Reggie Bullock, 11K range, Wiggins, and then 12K would be Klay Thompson. And then anybody else would be looking to get to Luka Doncic and Steph Curry. But these are the 3 that I'm going to be starting with on FanDuel. And that's about it for the video, so thank you for watching. Best of luck tonight. Hopefully we pray for a close game, and hopefully you guys make some money today. Best of luck, and I'll see you all next time.